super late for class, so I didn't get a chance to put makeup on, but this is kind of a blessing in disguise, because now I can do a tutorial on how I do my makeup every day, which is kind of nice. So I was kind of funky looking in class, but it all works out because now I can do a really cool tutorial. I've already done all my face stuff, so concealer, I know there's this big, huge, enormous, like, verge of talking pimple right here on my face that I really can't do anything about. It's just huge and enormous, and please just don't look at it. But I did put concealer on, so there are a couple of other spots that you may not be noticing. Foundation, I use my Fit Me liquid foundation, the powder to sort of set it, and then I did some contouring and blush, and then I did my eyebrows. But other than that, other than all of that crap on my face, I don't have any makeup on. Mainly I'm talking about my eyes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Naked palette, because that's what I've been using recently. Normally, before I bought it, I was using the 88 palette from Coastal Scents, in conjunction with the Fall Festival palette, but since I just got my Naked palette, I'm kind of obsessed with it. Excuse me, that was gross. So that's kind of what I've been using. I'm not going to do much talking while I'm putting my makeup on, because then the video will end up being really long. I'm just going to do it and then kind of voice it over so you guys can see what I'm doing. The things you'll need for this look, if you're interested in doing it, are the Naked palette. I'm trying not to move my desk too much because my camera is in a very precarious sort of situation there. The Naked palette, the primer, if you're like me and you just bought it, then they both come together, so you're kind of killing two birds with one stone. That's the Urban Decay primer potion. Any type of liquid eyeliner you have, mine is by e.l.f., but that's not necessary. I have 3 different mascaras going on. I'll explain why later, but any type of mascara, your favorite one, and then to go along with that, whatever eyelash curler you use, and then I have 3 different brushes. I have just like a really flat, wide one. There's nothing too special about that. That's just going to be for highlighting and like applying a lot of base color. Then I have these 2 which are identical. They're very round, fluffy dome brushes. Those I use for the crease. And then there's this really kind of funky looking angled dome brush. But again, it doesn't really matter what brushes you use. Those are just ones I'm using. And then I would normally put on the little wispies, but there's no way I can do that on camera. And for me to do that, I'd have to get really close to the mirror, and my face is scary enough from this distance, and you'd be looking at my nose and all that stuff, and you don't want that. And I don't want that, so I'm not going to bother with those today, just sort of normally what I do without them. Does that make sense? I talk a lot, I'm sorry. Okay, so this is where I'm going to be quiet.
Except that I'm actually going to continue talking. So what I'm doing now is I'm putting on the primer. It's the Urban Decay Primer Potion, and I'm just sort of loading up on it. The purpose of this is it'll really just sort of smooth out my eyelid while also holding all of my makeup in place and keeping them as brightly pigmented as they are when I first put them on. So it really just creates like a perfect canvas for eyeshadow and eyeliner and whatever else you're putting up there. This is the flat wide brush. It actually came with the Naked palette. The color that I'm pointing to now is Virgin. It's the lightest one. It's a matte light, sort of like vanilla color, and I'm just gonna literally load that up all over the my eyelid, on the brow bone, on the crease, on the lid, in the corners. Literally everywhere it can go is where I want it because it's just my base color. And it kind of just took a little while for me to actually do that. So yeah. Also, I hope you guys are prepared for the amount of faces I'm making in this video. There's a lot of squinting and eye opening, and you see up my nose a lot, which is super fun. Also, there's no music, so I'm not really sure why I'm dancing. It's all a ruse. There's absolutely no sound going on in my room at this time. I think the Millionaire Matchmaker might have been on in the background. So, yeah, it's literally still that same color, Virgin. Then I'm going to take the angled dome brush, and the color that I'm using after that, I believe is Naked. Yeah, it's Naked. It's a really just like taupey color. And then the other one I pointed to is Buck. Naked, I'm going to put just on my eyelids, starting from the center and working my way out to the sort of outer corner. What I'm doing here or what I'm about to do in a second, is I pat it down the center of my eyelid to sort of start the color in the middle, and then I'll work it outward. So I sort of start like a really dark barrier and then move it outwards. Also, I accidentally put eyeshadow on my face, but I'm not going to notice for a while, so it's pretty much just going to sit there until I realize, which is funny because I'm literally just looking in the mirror and I still don't notice it. Ah, there it goes. So yeah, again, that's really just me using Naked and working it from the center to the outside, and there's just there's literally just a ton of blending. That's probably what half of this video is. Blend, blend, blend. And then, don't let it pass the crease just yet. And then I worked Buck into, there we go. So I'm taking Buck and I'm starting that a little further out, and it's really just going to be in the outer corner and in maybe the first third of the outside, whereas Naked went from the middle to the outside. That's me saying I'm too close. So far we have Virgin all over the eye, Naked from the middle outward, and then Buck from the last third of the eye. The color I'm pointing to now, you can't read, is Hustle. And while the last three are really matte colors, Hustle has a little tiny bit of shimmer to it. I'm working that in the outside, and I took the wide domed brush, and what I'm doing now is I'm creating a line. So I'm trying to create a sort of cat eye with the eyeshadow. So literally just work it right into your crease, and if you follow your crease perfectly, it'll create a sort of straight line, which is kind of weird, but that's exactly what it does. That's a perfectly clean brush. So after applying that strip of color, you use the clean brush to blend it out, and it's the exact same as the other one. It's a really fluffy, rounded, wide brush. I know, my terminology is so technical. And then you're just really just going to work it in. And then what I'm doing right there is I'm creating a crisp edge to sort of create the lines that the wing is going to stay in. So with the eyeshadow that I've just kind of placed up there, I'm blending it into the crease, and this can go a little bit above and a little bit below the crease at this point now that we're blending. And then make sure to create a line downward from the end to meet your lash line, so it'll create a nice angular sort of cat eye. And because it's with eyeshadow and not eyeliner, it's not going to be too intense, and because it's brown, it's going to be subtle. So this is what I normally do, and it's a pretty nice complement to like sort of neutral colors. And then this is me up in the camera blending some more. So I think at this point I've only used 4 colors, and I think that's probably all I'm going to use. If you wanted to make it a little smokier, you could probably use maybe Creep and Dark Horse, which are also off the Naked palette, and then I'm going to take Virgin again and use that to highlight my brow bone. So you want to do that last because, I don't know if like you've ever taken like a painting class or anything, the lightest colors you want to use last. So while I used it first to create a base, I'm going to go in with it again and highlight the areas that I want to highlight. And then I take a little bit more color and work it into the crease, and this is so we can blend so there's no harsh lines between the really dark color in the crease and the light color of the highlight. The top of the brow bone will still be super light because of the color we just added, but you don't want the transition to be too sharp. You want it to be a sort of gradual transition, which is why I did extra blending in the crease. And that color is Sin, I believe. Yeah, and that's a sparkly color. Not super sparkly, but I'm working it around the inner corner of my eye. You see it like already brightens it up. It's not glittery, I guess it's just a little sheer or shimmery. And it makes you look awake, and I'm not sure what face I was making. So then you take your eyelash curlers and you curl them. And there is my favorite liquid eyeliner. It's just the e.l.f. liquid eyeliner. And I'm going to create a wing. So the way I do that is I kind of look to see where my eyeshadow is. It's just a natural extension of the lash line, and I try to just follow that outward. I start out and then work my way in. It's just easier for me that way because I feel like the skin doesn't really drag that much when you see out to in. And then from there, I literally just take the side of the brush and pat it down against my lash line instead of trying to create a crisp line with the tip, because that's way too hard. So since the edge is really stiff, I'm going to do it again here, and I'm just going to sort of pat the edge against the my lash line. And my arms are really crossed right now because I'm left-handed and I don't know how to put makeup on this eye. But this is also the only eye that I can kind of close really flatly, so it's good for watching me put on makeup, but this is what happens a lot. My arms get all crossy, and apparently I think that's really funny. Ha ha ha. So you just do that. I am super delicate about putting on eyeliner because I hate when I mess it up. That's my new ScandalEYES mascara. I'm going to go work it in, and then because I absolutely hate that brush, I don't know what I'm laughing at, but because I hate that brush, I'm just using it to get a nice coat of mascara on both eyes. I think I'm going to put about 2 or 3 coats of mascara on each eye, and then I'm going to take a different mascara brush and work it through to really fan out my eyelashes and make them look nice. This is just sort of loading up product. There we go. And there's One by One by Maybelline. I'm using the brush, which is an incredible brush. It's a silicone brush. They're still in the music. Don't know why I'm dancing. And that'll just separate my eyelashes and really just work the product through the rest of my lashes. It's like a comb, like combing conditioner through your hair, pretty much. If you look really closely, you can see I just got mascara on my eyelid. That's from the stupid ScandalEYES brush. I fix it later with the blending brush I had been using in my crease, and what it does is, the excess mascara just kind of makes it a little darker. So, see, I didn't put the blending in, but that's all I did to get rid of the excess mascara that had sort of touched on my eyelid. And this is a really pink color by Revlon. Oh, I can't remember what it's called, but it's 004. And I'm putting it on, but I hate putting lipstick on camera, so I fast forwarded through that. That's lip gloss. It's Sephora's Ballet Slippers. This is why I hate putting lipstick on camera, because no one needs to be that close to my face. And it just sort of softens the color a lot. So it's a more pale pink instead of the hot, grapefruity pink that the other thing was. This is High Beam. It's a highlighter that you can use on your face, but I occasionally use it as a highlight for my brow bone. And I got too much on that eye, so I'm going to spread it over to the other one. It's a really sheer kind of dewy thing. When you use it on your face, you look so pretty and so dewy, but it's a really great highlight. Obviously, that's optional, since I had already highlighted with Virgin. So that is pretty much done. Some more blending. Just taking it out onto my lower lash line, the sin that was in the corner. So it just looks more blended. And then I forgot to line my top waterline. I don't want to do that on the camera because I don't want you guys to see up my nose. So instead I do it on my Naked palette mirror. I know it looks incredibly unnatural. It took me a while to learn how to put it on my waterline without blinking and looking like a freak. My eyes are pretty desensitized to everything at this point. So you're just working that in, and what it does, it really just completes the look. Yeah, I don't know what it does. It makes your lashes look better.
Okay, so there is my makeup for pretty much every day. Hopefully you weren't so grossed out by how close my face was to the camera for the most of the part, or the most of the time. The last thing I did, actually I'll explain that in the voiceover, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, my foundation again was already on, so that's just the way I do my eyes and stuff, and obviously whatever lip gloss or lipstick I choose. I didn't do my eyebrows in this video either. I had done them before, but hopefully that helps. And then if you were trying to figure out maybe how to use the Naked palette, I only used some of the colors, and obviously there are 1,000 different things you could do with the palette, so it's really up to you. But yeah, this is the fastest video I've ever done, so it's really strange for me to be done talking right now. But yeah, I guess I'm trying to think of any other videos I might have coming up, and I really can't think of any. Hopefully you found this helpful, or something to procrastinate while you're trying to do homework. I'm procrastinating right now, so. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.